Joining fields, taking over. No one can deny we're queens in our own rights. Right or fleet, we're ruling the game. Turning heads, yeah, we're making our own name. Living free, we're breaking the mold. Unapologetic, we're standing bold. Every picture we post, it's a story untold. We're inspiring souls, watch us unfold. Watch us unfold.
Hey ladies, welcome to Rooted in Your Confidence, the podcast for women working in male-dominated industries, and I am your host, Samantha Kaye, speaker, certified life coach, and consultant. So let's get into it, ladies. To be honest, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to talk about this week. I mean, it was one heck of a week. I had some goods and some highs and some lows. So I was like, what do I want to talk about today? I want to inspire and motivate, do all the things. Because you know what, at the end of the day, in this community, I want us all to stand in our truth, stand in our beliefs, and no longer shrink or become invisible to get along and to stay in these jobs. And a lot of times we as women, what we do is become what the culture is that we're working in. We become part of the culture. You know, we become accepting of how the environment is in order to stay in it with what we consider less stress. But if we're still upset and if we're still not happy and if we're still just going along to get along and we're still truly not showing up as our full selves, are we really less stressed? Or are we pushing down our real feelings in order to just stay in those environments? So I'm going to challenge you today by talking about it. Let's talk about one of the things that we do. We allow ourselves to conform and not to be who the environment is suggesting we become because they have labels for us. You know, those labels that they like to give to women. Too aggressive, too emotional, too loud, too nice, too strong. Honey, this is my favorite one. Listen, too bitchy. Does any of those things sound familiar to you, ladies? Because I have been called all of them and then some. Yes. You know, my favorite one is when the chief at the time said to me, Samantha, you don't have to be so animated. Samantha, you're too aggressive. Samantha, oh, you need to speak up more. All the things. And these labels that they give us aren't about us at all or who we are. It's about who they want us to be or who they see we should show up at. You know what I mean? Like when you really think about it, all the names, all the labels are about them and what they think about women in these environments. Women in general, to be very honest. As long as you're showing up, doing what they think, what they feel, that you're okay. But when you do something outside of the box, when you leave the pack, she too much. I distinctly remember Samantha nasty because I'm direct. I'm a nasty woman because I smile too much. I remember one of my colleagues saying that even about Kamala Harris. Oh, she always laughing. The fuck she supposed to do? Cry? Walk around angry, mean mugging? And it's so funny. Just last week, one of my coworkers said that to me. Oh, Samantha, you too happy around here. They say it as a joke, but they say it too often. I was like, well, I'm bringing the joy. I'm bringing the happiness. Oh, well, leave that on your side. Don't come over here with all that happiness. And I know people go through things, but that's not my issue nor my problem. And to always try to bring someone into the culture of unhappiness, unsettledness, unrest to make themselves okay isn't okay with me. That is not the culture at any job or any human should have to deal with. People come in to work, go home, do what they need to do, and to support themselves and their families. But because other people don't agree with it, they find themselves trying to impose their beliefs onto others. They're about how uncomfortable people feel when they show up fully. And when you hear these labels aren't about who you are. They are about how uncomfortable people feel when you show up fully. And today, we're not shrinking to make anyone feel better. Let's be honest. You know the labels women get hit with, especially in male dominated spaces. We walk into a room and we're told we need to be more direct. But not too direct because we don't want to scare people off. We want to make sure that they're okay with you being here because you know what they'll say about you. That's my impersonation of a man. You have to be, nice, but direct, a little soft. You don't want them to think you're bullying them because you're a woman. I have been told, I had an employee that was not performing his duties, was not following the SOPs of the company that I worked for. So I had to bring him in to counsel him with a witness. And when he came in my office, I was talking to him. I was explaining the situation. I wanted some of the situations that had been brought to my attention and wanting to help him correct behavior so that he can excel. This is what I'm doing. I'm working a night shift because I had to come in just for this counseling session. Well, this individual became irate and accused me of listen to this, wanting to bully him because I was a woman. Yes. I'm bullying him because I'm telling him what he needs to do to correct behaviors. So I became the problem. And I wasn't taken aback. And I wasn't like, oh, poor guy. And no, I did not waver. I stayed rooted in exactly what I was saying. And I asked him, because I had a witness, if he wanted to take a moment and come back. Because first of all, I did not feel safe. But again, I could not be brave. And even when I brought it to my supervisors that morning of the incident that happened, they questioned me. Is it not insane? Well, were you nice to him? Was I delicate with him? Because of the culture of the environment that I work in, I see men cussing each other out, up one side and down the other. But anytime I say anything, I have to be gentle and delicate. I have to pull them aside, damn near hug them to make them comfortable with me giving directives, with me telling them to correct behaviors. It just blows my mind completely. So we speak up and we're being told we're too aggressive. We don't speak up and suddenly we're too quiet. Not a team player. It's a game basically that we can't win. And we've been playing it for far too long. That's why this episode is about calling that shit out and calling ourselves back to who we actually are. We're no longer allowing the labels to fucking control us. Yes, I'm so passionate about this because we allow these labels that people put on us to control us and how we show up. And I'm not doing that. And I want all of you that do allow it to try to fit in, to become, to just listen to this. I want you to sit with these words today that I'm saying. And if they're resonating with you, please like, subscribe, and forward it to a woman that's going through this. Because we're a community. We have to stand as one unit in order to change some of these things so we can stop being quiet. Stop allowing their words because they're uncomfortable with where we are to keep us from showing up. We do these things because we want to be safe. We're quiet because we want to feel safe. And with safety, we think that we're going to be happy. But just because you're safe in the moment doesn't mean they're not going to pick you apart somewhere else. So we might as well put boundaries in place from the door. And safety is so important, And I understand why we don't say anything. I understand why we don't show up fully because we've seen what happens to other women who gets labeled. They don't promotions. They're ignored. They're pushed out. They're isolated. They don't get the opportunities that they rightfully deserve because they're doing all the things. They start questioning themselves. That's where that damn imposter syndrome comes in. As women, we've been conditioned to seek approval, even if it costs us our truth. And that's the most damaging part. We start internalizing these labels. We start believing them. Am I really too much? Am I really not enough? So in order not to be labeled, in order not to be pushed aside, in order to just be considered. Even though we work 10 times harder, we have more qualifications, we still shrink. We get soft. And we become what we think they need from us for them to be comfortable. But it's funny that no one wants to be comfortable around us. I've had a colleague tell me to my face that women should not be in the work environment, that it's much better when women aren't there. But it's okay for him to say it and say his thoughts out loud to me, but it's not all right if I tell him what you're saying makes no sense. What you're saying is ridiculous. And ask him the questions. What made it a better environment? What makes me disrupt the environment that you're working in? What makes me unqualified and makes you more qualified? So, ladies, we do things just to keep enough peace. But during that time, we're processing, we lose pieces of ourselves. I just want you to know, losing pieces of yourself is not the answer. It's not. There's a book I always come back to. It's called The Body Keeps the Score. And the doctor explains that the trauma doesn't live in our minds, it lives in our bodies. So every time you silence yourself at work to avoid being called aggressive or difficult, your body feels that. You hold your breath or the tension in your shoulders, and that's where I hold mine in my shoulders. You second guess yourself before you even open your mouth, and that gives people time to think that you're not qualified. I'm just letting you know. And there is a lot of research that backs all of this up. And according to the American Psychological Association, chronic suppression of emotions and self-censorship leads to higher levels of anxiety, deep depression. You hear me? Deep depression and even physical illness. I've been where I have been depressed. I've been sad because I felt sanctioned. Like if I say something, they're going to judge me. If I say something, then it's going to be wrong because they continuously tell me that I'm not supposed to be there. But I'm going to tell you, baby, it's something about being rooted in your confidence, showing up for you, and knowing that for a fact that you know that gives you the confidence to speak up. And that physical illness happens especially in high stress environments like the ones we're working in. I just want you to know that. So, no, this isn't just about workplace politics at all. It's about healing. It's about letting your body know that you're safe and you can speak. And feeling safe is crucial to you not just surviving but thriving in these work environments. So being able to understand that your value that you bring to a place is more important than your silence in a place. And it's easier, you're probably saying, said than done. And I know it takes steps to get there. But if we follow my framework, it's going to teach you to move past the labels. This is what I teach, what I use to help my clients. And I want to share it with you today. And what I built to help women stop shrinking and to start standing fully in who they are. For my truth and for your truth, we got to trust ourselves. We got to stop waiting for approval. Stop second guessing ourselves. When you know it in your gut, that's when you trust yourself because you know it. You can trust your own voice, the way you say it, your instincts, and your presence. Don't let anyone tell you you need to be who they need you to be. So stand in your truth of yourself, of who you are, and you can reclaim your own power. How do you do this? Just because they gave you a label to make you small, you get to flip that shit. Aggressive? No, I'm clear. Emotional? No, I care. Too strong? Nah, I'm grounded. These are the things we need to say. We need to make what they want to bring us down or to as a negative about us, make it our superpower. Make it what we love about ourselves. And sometimes I don't even change it like too strong. Too strong for whom? I'm strong in where my capabilities are. I'm strong in what I'm knowing. I'm strong in my beliefs. I'm strong in my integrity. Who am I too strong for? So allowing yourself to recognize that it's never to anything. And the only person that gets to decide that is you. I remember even a time from I was saying, oh, I'm a lot. I'm a lot. This is me entertaining other people's bullshit about me, that I'm too much. Samantha, I have even had outside of male dominated environments and really recognizing what happens to you in life. Because these things go beyond just your job. They start somewhere. Because I'm always friendly. I'm always laughing. I walk in gratitude. I live in gratitude. So I'll talk about it. Oh, here you go with this gratitude stuff. You too this. If I am, it's okay. You get a choice in this, not to listen to it. But I have a choice in this too, to show up as me. And that's what we don't do as women. We allow other people's thoughts and choices to affect how we show up and how we love ourselves. So, the you in truth, use your voice. Yes, use your voice. You have the right to use your voice. Say what needs to be said, even if it makes people uncomfortable, even if it makes the room go quiet. That's not your business if it do. They need to figure out why they're quiet, because silence may feel safe, but it costs you too much. All right? It costs you way too much. I just want you to know that for a fact. For a fact, Jack. That's what I wanted to say, and I wasn't going to say it. So I just went ahead. Because we friends and y'all get me. The T. Tell your story. Because not until I started telling my story, not until I allow myself to be rooted in my story. Because my story allows me to help the next person. It allows me to seek more for myself. I'm no longer waiting for someone else. My truth is mine. And I have no shame, no guilt, no anything in my own belief system. So tell your story. Everything you've been through matters. Every moment that you stayed quiet, every time you got back up. Tell that. Tell it. Go tell it on the mountain. Because it frees someone else to stand up to. And I'm not telling you to do this for someone else first. Do it for you first. And if we save another woman in the process, kudos to us. Because again, we're building communities. We're building a place where we all feel safe. And we look for safety within instead of looking for it outside of ourselves. And H, hold your ground. You don't owe anyone softness. You don't have to round your edges so people feel better around you. Let them deal with their discomfort. That's not your burden. We've been taught to pick up everybody's shit and hold on to it. Make it ours. Wrap it in a little silver bow. Make it pretty. Listen, who don't have some rough edges? I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm not trying to show up for everybody. I'm trying to show up for you, my listeners, as my most authentic, true self. Because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to be me. I'm not here to be what someone else might think I should be. There's so many ways that we can twist and turn and be what everyone else do, but it's no longer serving us. I know being quiet and being still doesn't work for me. This woman that I know, she recently was afraid to use her voice. She needed me to stand with her. And I'm not even going to go into a whole thing, but it's funny, me standing my truth when I first met her made her afraid of me. When she needed me to have her back, when she needed me to give her assistance because she was being handled and mistreated, she needed that. She needed my boldness. She needed that to help her. And she drew from my power. She drew from my resistance to be oppressed. Because anytime we as women allow people to oppress us by keeping our mouths closed and not speaking up, it sends a signal that we are okay with it when we're not. I want that to sit right there with you for a minute. We don't want anyone to think that something is okay with us when it's not. So what I want you to do is today, whenever day you're listening to this, I want you to take back your power and release the holds that other people's words have on you that keep you from truly showing up for you. So what I want you to do is write down one label that has been misused against you. Maybe it's you're too much, you're too emotional, you're too aggressive, you're too direct, you're too loud, you're too big. This is all part of what society do. They're putting the perfect woman with a bow that they have defined. When do we get to define ourselves? At what point do you get to define you? Not allowing those labels that the white patriarchal system has defined for us about us. What are we supposed to do? Sit with a little bowl and cook and clean, spinning pots on the stove, making sure everybody else is fed. We eating the last morsel instead of eating at our table first. You get to eat at your table first. So today I want you to write down and ask yourself if those labels, was it really about me? Or was it about someone else not being able to handle me? Because I don't like to be motherfucking handled. I'm just letting you know right now. And I don't need their words to handle me. I don't like to be positioned by them. I want to step into my own position. I'm just saying. That's just me. So just ask yourself the question. Then say this out loud. I'm not too much. I am enough. I'm not too loud. I'm clear. I'm not emotional. I'm human. Baby, ain't nothing like being human, is it? Come on now for being a human. And everyone in this world is a human. So you're not asking to do anything but to respect you as who you are, a human. And I am done shrinking. I am done shrinking to make you feel safe. Meaning everyone around you that you're not being you around because you want them to feel okay with who you are as a human and you become a chameleon or you're transforming and you're twisting yourself into something that you're not, you're no longer doing that. So you're done shrinking to make them feel safe. It's all about you feeling safe. So you get to feel safe and still stand tall, still have your voice, still believe in you, still talk about the shit that goes on, the jobs you've been passed over for, the way that you're spoken to, the fact that they've overlooked you, the money you're not making. You're done not speaking up for you. You're done shrinking just to make you feel safe and to make them feel powerful. Sis, you don't have to twist, shrink, or hide. You deserve to be seen, heard, and valued for exactly who you are. If this episode spoke to you, make sure you follow, subscribe, so you never miss the conversation. And if you're ready to take this work deeper, take my confidence quiz. The link is in the show notes. Or book a session with me to start showing up in your career and life with the confidence you deserve. Until next time, walk through the door differently, show up, show out, be you, and I'll see you in the next episode.
Strong and fierce, taking over. No one can deny we're queens in our own right. Swagger on fleek, we're ruling the game. Turning heads, yeah, we're making our own name. Living free, we're breaking the mold. Unapologetic, we're standing bold. Every picture we post, it's a story untold. We're inspiring souls, watch us unfold. Watch us unfold. Capture the moment, hold it tight. Every click, every flash, we're shining so bright. Through the lens, we're showing who we truly